welcome to another edition here of The Guru and the Other Guy, where us two guys are guru haters, and we like giving you real deal real estate information. The two of us combined probably have close to 80 years experience in real estate investing, building, developing, you name it. It has been a part of our lives. And we hate gurus, but that's why we named ourselves The Guru and the Other Guy, because we make fun of those guys that are stealing money from you. So, Mr. Guru, we haven't talked in a little while. I was down under the weather, not feeling very good. My voice is barely here. It's struggling to get up to a decibel that you can actually hear me. So you might be doing a little bit more.
Really?
The people will probably like it a lot more. That they're going to hear more from you than normal. So we're going to pick up where we've been kind of going down this avenue of Pace Morby and the fraud that he is. Right now, I let me just say this. I don't despise the man because I don't know him. So I don't know if he's a good person, a bad person. I don't know. What I do know is that the program that he's pitching on YouTube and everywhere else is complete garbage. Now, I've known this for a while because my students brought it to my attention. I researched him and I was like, what a total fraud this is, right? Now, you early on didn't quite know who he was. I think you maybe heard his name, yada, yada, yada. But you've been researching him for over a month now. Over a month. And
it's been longer than that.
Oh, okay. And I want you to tell the people what we're going to talk about his...
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about...
We really had no pre-production on this.
No pre-production. No, I
in
know.
3 weeks.
I know. So we're going to talk about, because you've researched him, right? He's a subject to guy.
Yeah.
And as you know, subject to, we both hate subject to. There's a way better method out there that both of us love. Both of us used it in the past. Yeah. And it's hands down 1,000 times better than subject to financing. Now, with that being said, let's talk about, because here we want to expose all the frauds, not just Pace, but all the guys that are ripping the consumers off. Now, we're stuck on Pace because you're doing a ton of research. So why don't you tell us what you think this guy's game is? Like I'm going to call it a game, but let's figure out how he makes his money, how he rips off the people, what he actually does. Because here's what I'll tell you, and then you can take the floor. I'm going to leave it with this. So I'm going to do a little close-up of me, give you my 2 cents. I'm going to let you have it, all right? Now, early on, when I first heard of this guy, I'm telling you that he was all about no money down, no money down, no money down. I buy houses, no money, no money, no money. I did a video calling him out. Right? Calling him out, which got some response, and I know that he saw it because he stopped saying no money down. He started saying none of my own money down. Mm-hmm. Okay? He completely changed his tune. 100% changed his tune. Now, you've researched it, and I'm going to let you talk about what you found out about this guy. Now, and for all the folks that are out there, if there is a guru that you are thinking about spending any type of money on, do me a favor. Don't do that. Talk to us first. We'll review the stuff and let you know if it's legit or not legit, okay? And if you want real training, you can always go to the Golden Triangle Academy, where it's only $59 a month. Now, Guru, tell us what you found out about, because like I said, you've researched him for a long time. Tell us what you found out. Floor is all yours.
Yeah, I get his alerts, and so his videos pop up all the time. Okay. What I'm finding, with subject to, the majority of the things he's posting, he is buying, because with subject to...
What do you mean he's buying?
Well, his students, Utah, Montana, Arizona, there's nothing on the East Coast. Where we're at in the Northeast.
Okay.
And so they find a subject to. He swoops in and he pays an assignment fee. He pays usually, which is shocking to me, a realtor is always involved. So he's paying as as low as 3% on the sale.
Okay.
Um, the one that I just watched, I sent it over to you, just came across a day or two ago. There's
Okay.
no discussion on closing costs,
Right. He leaves a lot of stuff out.
taxes, home warranty. There is nothing that is discussed. But my
Right.
point is,
Yep.
subject to
Yep.
for first time investors because you will need money.
Oh, no doubt.
And I don't get it. If you're teaching real estate, you basically should be teaching with the thought that you're not going to put a lot of money down. But it makes it more egregious is they have these people called top TCs. What do we transaction
Transactions and
consultants.
coordinator.
None of these people, even Pace, they do not write their contracts. And in order to
That's a disgrace.
to get experience how to structure deals, they're not structuring these deals. They're not putting pen to paper and understanding a contract. You have to have contractual knowledge how to form a contract with the seller to explain it. You just can't give it to a third party and say, yeah, do my contract and then we'll talk.
Gotcha.
To me, it's convoluted.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
convoluted.
So your point is he doesn't teach his students how to even write a contract or
They're
how
not,
to negotiate a deal.
There's not one deal. Except there was owner financing. And I saw two people that they found seller financing.
Right.
And they're a little bit more involved. But then again, they used a transaction consultant.
That's terrible.
And which is when you give seller financing, that's a pretty smooth contract.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
the seller's the bank. There's no
Yeah,
encumbrances
yeah,
against the property.
Right.
With subject to, you gotta, well, there's a lot of problems.
Right. There's a lot of problems. Well, let me ask you this question. Now, as far as his students go, what you're saying is that none of his students are buying property themselves.
No.
Right? They're basically wholesalers. Yeah, they're basically wholesalers.
Yeah,
they're just giving him.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. They're flipping it to him.
They're right. Now, again, me and you come from the professional world. Wholesaling is a marketing name.
That's all BS. That wholesaling.
Yeah, I got you.
It was called flip.
Flipping. Yeah, flipping contracts.
Or are they changing names all
marketing.
of a sudden? Is this the
marketing. It's marketing.
It's called flipping.
Yes, flipping contracts. Yes, flipping contracts.
We've been doing it for decades. Yeah.
So, exactly. Now, so basically, you're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars to go join this guy's program to become a to go find him property. Now, just so people understand this, here's what's going on. So you understand this. He's going out and you pay him $10,000 to be a part of his thing, okay? Then you go out and you find him property.
Well, more than that, man. Okay. We're unsure.
Okay,
but to pay 70, some hundred, some who go up to 30, 40,
right. Understood.
And everything in between.
Understood. But my point is, he's not teaching you how to do contracts. He's not teaching you how to structure the deals. Basically, what's going on is that you're going out and finding him property so that he can buy it. Now, anybody, and you know this, Guru, anybody can go buy property if you've got enough money. Now, what he does, just so you know, he likes to do subject to financing, yes, but what he's doing is he's paying, just so you understand this, ladies and gentlemen, he's paying a wholesale fee to his students. He's paying B, the realtors. He's paying C, the seller. He's paying a lot of people to do one transaction.
But this is the thing.
And his students get nothing.
If this
no education.
Fixing up properties, and if this property goes sideways, like
Yes.
say one of your students, and they don't have any money, and the rent's not there. Well, he has that money. These properties, I almost think, and I think I mentioned to you, I think they're a tax shelter, because he is,
for him,
by his own admission, he's in the 40% tier of tax rates.
Okay.
So he was explaining it. I'm just repeating what he's saying.
What he's saying. Okay.
He needs depreciation because he's making so much money. So he has to put his money somewhere.
From his students.
Yes, from his students.
Right.
He's not making it from properties.
Right.
In the last month, I added just the videos I saw. He has purchased around $15 million in real estate.
Okay.
Just in the last
from his students. Just so you understand, he's getting it from his students. They're going out and finding him property. Right? Yes? So basically, what's happening is the students find him a property. He pays the students a fee. He pays the realtors a fee. He pays the sellers.
He has to pay the sellers.
Got to pay the sellers. Right. So why the hell would you ever pay for this guy's program to learn subject to when you're not doing it?
I have a thought on how he gets students. No, the reason why people,
because he's a great marketer.
Well, the reason why people don't don't run, especially the Golden Triangle, is they don't believe in themselves.
Right
now, they don't think it's possible to maybe buy property with no money down and do all the things that you're teaching and we've done for decades.
Right.
They don't believe in themselves yet. There's where, if they believed in themselves, they would be open to what you're teaching more. And but he manages, it's an emotional thing with him because he is pounding away at these videos and this marketing. And I told you, he was saying it's marketing next April. He's having a big shindig in Orlando.
Right.
And they're going to come down and they're going to plop money down. They're going to go there and he's going to have his sycophants who are going to say, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world.
But they don't know. And, that's the thing. They don't know. They don't know. Like, what people don't understand is this. He goes after from what I saw, dumpy homes, right? That people can't sell, right?
And they're not the best looking.
They're not the best homes.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is, let me show people how this works. Let me kind of show you how this works. Okay, so this is basically what happens. So here's our guy Pace, right? And then here's Pace's students, okay? And he's got, times 10,000, okay? Now, so what Pace does, he has his students go out and find homes, right? Now, they're all out there on the prowl looking for homes for this guy, okay? Now, what happens is when they find him a home, right? And let's show the home. So here's a home, okay? Let's say the fair market value, Guru, is $200,000. Let's say the seller owes, let's just say $170, okay? And let's say the PITI is, say, $1,200.
Well, they're relate.
I got you.
400 plus, yeah.
Right. I'm just giving you an example of what's going on, okay? So now he wants to buy this property. The seller's not letting it go for anything. They want $200,000, period, end of story. Now, there's a realtor involved, okay? So here's the realtor.
Yeah, there's mostly realtors involved, which I...
Right. Now, the realtor gets 6% commission, all right? So let's add all this stuff up. So you understand, when you're doing a subject to financing deal, the only reason why you would even consider doing it this way is if this interest rate is super low. But even then, you have to worry about the due on sale clause. This is not a good way to go. So here's what happens. So here's what happens. Right now, there's 30,000 in equity. Okay, 30,000 in equity. Okay, so the seller, here's what Pace is going to pay. He's going to pay 6% of 200,000. So there's 12,000 right there, right? That's what the realtor's expecting. He's going to give his finders over here $10,000, right? Because they get their money back. So before he even does anything, he's 22,000 in the hole. Now, he's got to give the seller, who doesn't want to, like, isn't going to let go of that equity, $30,000. Okay? So now he's 30, 40, he's 52,000 out of pocket. Now let me explain to the students what can happen here. Okay? The only thing a seller has in the deal is the equity right here. That's it. Now you can do a couple things with this. You can either you can pay the seller cash, which Pace Morby does, and we're going to get to that in a minute, or B, the seller can hold back a note, which is doing seller financing. So what he's doing is taking over this subject to the financing that's in place. That's already there, subject to the financing in place. 30,000, he can get the seller to take a second, or he has to pay the seller, okay? Now, he's already got to pay the realtor, he's got to pay his assignment fee and all that stuff. So here's what the students have to know. Just because Pace Morby has it, and he has all this money, okay, and he says, this $30,000, it's none of his money, it's a private lender. Let me explain this to the folks out there, okay? There is zero private lenders or hard money lenders that will ever go into the second or third lien position. Now, what do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. Here's the house that he was just doing. We said the fair market value was $200,000, okay? They owe $170 on that, okay, with ABC Bank, okay? This right here is called the first mortgage, okay? It's in the first lien position. Now, let's say he takes that over subject to. Now, let's assume he can get this seller to take back a second, okay? Let's say we call it take back a second, hold paper. There's a lot of different words of lingos that you can use here to talk about this second. So let's say the seller takes a second for the $30,000, okay? Let's just say it's a 5-year balloon, 30-year AM. You could do interest only. You could do principal. You could structure it however you want to structure it, okay? So now you have a first lien right here. You've got a second lien right here with the seller. Now, let's just say the seller doesn't want to do this, right? Doesn't want to do this. Doesn't want to hold the paper. The seller wants the $30,000 in cash, okay? Now, Pace says, I get my private lender or hard money lender to do it. Here's the problem with that. There is no hard money or private lender that I've ever heard of in my 40 years that will go into a second lien position. And again, this bank right here, they're in the first lien position. So the private lender who's going to give Pace $30,000 is going to go behind that lender because that lien's already in place. There's nobody, no lender that does that. Okay? That's why, hold on. That's why none of Pace's students can go buy the properties themselves because they don't have a private lender who will ever go into the second lien position because there is none.
Yeah.
Now, he might have a personal friend or somebody who's got a lot of money, but he's got the money.
But this is the deal, Vinny. We're talking him doing it.
Yes. Right. Not his students.
Are there BS?
Yes.
Because what he's doing is not being sincere because in order to teach your students, you have to know structuring. You have to know the details of the contract. You got to know. You got to know a mortgage. You got to know interest rates. And he's there telling the world he's buying this stuff.
Right.
Who gives a damn? he's a multimillionaire, it looks like to me.
Right.
So if the due on sale clause comes done, he just writes a check or
Right.
he talks his way
All
out
right.
of it.
Well, remember we did a video where it says, "Oh, goody, I got a story to tell." No, any
It
normal
doesn't.
person that gets the note called is going to shit in their pants. Sorry for that. I mean, they're going to poop their pants.
And you come down, and this is why you should go to the Gold Triangle, man. For $59,
Right, it's a
you can
steal.
there's different stuff you could do too. You could get more personal,
Yep.
and not at the cost that this dope's doing it at. So he's just there, adventure, and he doesn't have history, and that's what I always say, is that you don't know how many 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 2 years from now, all the crap that he's selling, we don't know how it's going to play out.
Right.
And from our experience of decades and decades, that doesn't play out. It's just not sustainable.
Right.
It really, really isn't. And these students go there and they get all hyped up, and he has a couple other things called Gator. And now he has a new thing called Elephant. I even dived into that.
God.
Elephant something.
Oh my God.
Gator and Elephant, where it's mine. It seems like he's introducing stuff so fast that he's trying to confuse everybody with stream of income.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you.
And there's a lot of people that complain, but
hold on. Here's what I can tell you. I know this. I don't want to say 100% fact, because one of my students read it to me off of his thing, and I said to him, "Whoa, dude, that's bank fraud. That's 100. What he's saying, if that's true, that's 100%.
Well, everything
bank fraud. No, I mean
everything he's selling is.
No, you're not listening to me. He's literally advocating. From what it was, he was saying, go do a DSCR loan, right? Have the seller take a second, but don't tell the lender, right, that you're doing this or doing that. And I said, that is complete bank fraud.
Yeah, it's bank fraud, because if you do it, the due on sale. You're writing a contract. That's not bank fraud. But if I'm advocating,
no, there was something else. It was besides the subject to things.
What I'm saying
I'll find out what it is. I shouldn't have said it because I don't know what it is.
No, what I'm saying, I'm going to talk in generalities.
Okay.
If I'm coaching or teaching a student and I'm telling them to do gray area stuff, I'm promoting fraud.
Yeah.
If I'm telling them, no, it's true. If I'm saying, go out and buy this subject too, and they're not prepared to satisfy the due on sale clause if it's exercised, then I'm perpetrating fraud.
I don't know. I might argue with that a little bit.
Listen, I firmly is behind
because
it.
It's not illegal.
I really
but here's the thing, though. It's not
somebody's
illegal. But listen, no, it's not illegal to do subject to financing. It's been around forever.
Subject to financing's not. But if there's a due on sale clause,
right,
you're committing fraud. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, but
you are committing it.
Well, listen. It only says
the student to do it. I'm not saying him doing it or you doing it.
But
there's a fine line.
But it only says. But listen, it only says in there that you have to let the listen. Talk about it for a second. I'll pull out the
bank.
form.
No, I'm taking the deed.
Go ahead. What is? Go ahead. Right. Right. Go ahead. Go. Right. So where does the fraud? Where does the fraud come in?
You are consulting students to walk into a landmine that sale is a real possibility.
Okay.
Like contract for deed.
Right.
The things that we know that you can do, but subject to.
Yes, I'm listening.
Fundamentally, and this is the other thing I've always said, and it's on the other podcast. And I can't wait till we get away from this guy for a while. I need a vacation from him.
Yeah, no
But
doubt. Go ahead.
we really do. I mean, this guy just
Yeah, we
perpetrates
will.
everything.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Um,
I'm in total agreement with you. I don't like this guy at all.
Let me tell you, he doesn't have enough time yet. It will happen. There'll be investigations on him. It will happen if it's not happening now.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
because
Let's.
when you get that big and you're bringing millions of dollars into your pocket, it's going to go sideways because you're going to piss these students off, saying, "Well, you sold this to me,
Well,
and
yeah,
I
that
can't
definitely could be a problem for sure. I mean, listen, you know and
refund
I know,
money."
you know and I know, when you piss people off, they're going to go to people that you don't want them talking to.
Yeah,
So
and
Guru,
you can have a lot of money like he does to put out
yeah,
fires.
yeah,
I'm sure he's putting fires out. I
right,
am that money eventually. If you get too deep into it,
yeah,
you're committing. I'm talking about his purchases. He
right,
could be violating things too. I mean, he could. I have no doubt he is. I
okay,
just don't know specifically, but the stuff that I watch,
right,
and then he's getting into equity funds, meaning invest $500,000 with me, and then we'll buy real estate. That's another thing. He has equity funds, and I don't know what he promises the dividends to
Well,
be
listen,
or
that's all.
how
That
he's
listen,
paying them.
you got to be. But listen, you got to be licensed to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's
So,
easy to get
no, I'm
licensed.
not saying this. I'm not saying it's not. All right, so Guru, let's take a look at this. I pulled it up for you. So hold on. Let me get into it. So here is right here. This is obviously part of a note. Okay, and if you see right here in
Oh, the
number,
elephant thing?
well, no, this is the actual note that talks about the due on sale clause. So just give me a second here. Let me get my marker up here. So bear with me. My apologies.
Oh, you didn't say elephant. It says something else.
Oh God, why can't I get this working here? Oh Jesus. See, I do this and then for some reason, oh here we go.
I guess my
All right,
message is,
you just got to be
before I
listen.
finish,
Okay, so
my
all right,
message is to the viewers here,
yeah,
go and spend the 15. If you don't have the
yes,
$59, I'll pay for a month. You don't have give me two of
right.
you out there.
So
If
so so
you're that,
Guru, no,
I'll pay Golden Triangle
so well,
$59 so you can see if you
this
like
is
it or
what the
not.
note says, so we can discuss this right here, right? If any or part of the property or any interest in the property is sold or transferred, or for borrow is not an act, blah 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 blah, right? Without the lender's prior written consent, right? Then it goes,
Right.
if the lender exercises this option, they give this is the acceleration clause, right? The notice shall provide no less than 30 days. But what it's saying is the lender, and this is the word, may require immediate payment in full of all sums secured by this
Right.
interest. So it's telling you in here, right, that they may, like, and that's where I argue with you a little bit that, now listen, it doesn't mean that if you
If
piss
they
off,
find out about
listen,
it,
if, listen,
they are
yes,
compelled by the federal laws to rescind that money.
yeah, that, well, listen,
In the banking law,
yes, yes.
you
Listen,
may.
Guru. Listen, Guru. You're gonna
Is
listen.
it different?
You're gonna love this. Hold on. You're gonna love this. I have a list of the top 15 mortgage servicing companies in the country, and I'm calling every single one of them and asking them if they allow subject to financing with any of their clients, and if so, what's the process? And would they ever call the note to if they found out this was done without their permission?
I would
Where do
ask
you,
them
where do you,
this.
go ahead.
Am I, and I know, it's not their money.
Of course it's not.
When a broker or a bank gives you a loan,
Yep.
investors' money.
Right.
So my question to those people would be, you find out this the deed has been transferred.
Yep.
Are you compelled by law to call that note due?
That's a good question. I think if they know it, I think they are. I do think that if they know that it was if they find out, listen, in my humble opinion, if they find out that the deed was transferred, it's not going to take them a millisecond to call that note due. They're absolutely calling the note due.
Pace can write that check. But
yeah, because he's got 100,000 students.
That's why the contract, sub-2 contract is not, you
Chuck,
have a better way,
right.
I have a better way.
Yes, no doubt.
Have to avoid.
Yes. Oh, we just broke off. All right, boys and girls. Listen, that was the end of our session. We will come back with a part 2, and we will finish up with that. So thank you, everybody, for hanging in there. We ran out of time. Our timer ran out, and we just kind of pooped out. So we'll come back next week. We'll finish this up, and we'll move on to a better subject. Thank you, everybody, for coming by, and sorry for the abrupt end, but we'll see you guys and gals on the next episode. Take care, everybody.